So Bridget comes down the stairs. She finds Lizzie Borden standing in the room where her father had been recently murdered while he was napping on the couch. The sight, insanely gruesome. A family doctor and police are called, and that's when they discover something truly horrible had taken place, not only to Lizzie's father, Andrew Borden, but also her stepmother, Abby Borden, as well.
Okay.
John was in the house, Andrew, Abby, Bridget, and Lizzie. So between the hours of 6 and 7, Andrew and Abby wake up. Bridget starts to clean the house, and John Morse, he has breakfast, and then he leaves to visit relatives where he's buying a pair of oxes. Okay. So after about 7 o'clock, before 8, Andrew and Abby complain of feeling unwell. They're still kind of suffering from the food poisoning. Breakfast is served. They start to eat, but Lizzie apparently refuses to eat breakfast this morning.
Okay.
Between 8 and 9, Andrew leaves for his usual morning walk. Bridget is ordered by Abby to wash the windows outside, despite the fact that there's like intense summer heat. And Lizzie is either upstairs, inside, doing God only knows what, or, as she claims, she was out in the barn looking for fishing sinkers. So that takes us right about to 9 o'clock. Okay, so 9 o'clock, Abby Borden goes upstairs to the guest bedroom to make the bed, which is usually Bridget's job, but with Bridget working outside, she takes care of it. And then at about 10:45, the next thing we know, because Bridget saw Abby go upstairs, right? But we have no idea what happens between 9:30 and 10:45-ish. But between 10:30 and 10:45, Andrew returns home from his walk. And he tries to get in the front door, but it's locked. And even with his key, he can't get it to budge. Bridget comes and lets him in because she had come in from the intense heat to go take a little rest. And as she's coming to the door, she notes that she heard Lizzie laughing from the top of the stairs.
Okay.
Which contradicts the claim that Lizzie was out in the barn. So she lets in Andrew. She's still really tired from the heat, so she goes up to her 3rd level bedroom to go take a nap. Andrew, also feeling a little wiped out, still sick, he lays down on the sitting room sofa to rest as well. Okay? That's till about between 10:45 and 11:10, and as we said earlier, 11:10 is where 32-year-old Lizzie discovers somebody has entered the house, murdered her father, and she yells for Bridget. Okay. So the first to arrive on scene are 2 neighbors, Mrs. Churchill and the family doctor. The family doctor actually lived across the street, which is super convenient.
Yeah.
And they come in and discover the mess that Andrew had become.
Yeah.
They then go upstairs to discover that in the guest bedroom is the body of Abby Borden, also brutally murdered, and the police are alerted right away. So the police come in, they start their investigation, and they determine between 9 and 9:30 that Abby was facing the bed, possibly making it, when she was struck from behind with a hatchet. She then fell face down between the bed and the dresser, where she is struck a total of 19 times, mostly to the back of her head.
Yeah.
The force literally just crushes her skull. She has exposed bone and brain everywhere.
It's horrifying.
And there's a lot of dried blood, which suggests she had been dead for quite some time.
Right.
Before Andrew was murdered. Because when the police arrive, her blood is dried, his is still wet. Okay. So that's how we placed that murder at about 9. Then we know 10:45 is when Andrew came home. He was asleep by about 11. This time the killer attacks from above, delivering 10 or 11 blows to his face and head. One literally like clean splits his eye in half.
It's crazy.
His nose completely severed. I mean, his face was so mutilated that it was just unrecognizable.
Yeah, you wouldn't even be able to tell who he was if it wasn't in his own home on his fucking couch.
Absolutely. So, like we said earlier too, Abby dry, he is still actively bleeding. So we know that there was at least some time. So the murderer had to have been in the home at the same time that Bridget lets Andrew back in.
Right.
And then she goes upstairs to sleep. Now, Lizzie, remember, said she was out in the barn to the police. But Bridget also says she hears her laughing at the top of the stairs. Okay. So some other details that came about from the investigation: murder weapon is believed to be a hatchet, and they are fairly certain they found it in the basement with the handle broken off.
Oh, yeah.
Now there's 2 hatchets in the basement, one that's really old and dirty, this broken one that was kind of made to look old and dirty. Whoever the killer was, they showed that they had extreme strength because they nearly decapitated Andrew and crushed Abby's skull. Based on where the attack started, they think that Andrew's seemed to be more personal because his face was specifically targeted. And then neither of them fought back, showing that it was an ambush. Okay. You had a thought?
No.
Okay.
I really don't. I mean, I can picture this because I've thoroughly watched so much on this and like listened to so much, so I can like picture it. I hope everyone else kind of can.
Oh, yeah.
To me, it's kind of like this is a really old house, though, and you can't quietly travel through this home, if that makes sense.
Right. The weird thing is there's so many people.
Yeah, but the fact that she thought she heard Lizzie upstairs laughing, for her to then just like get down the stair, like.
So she's at the door.
No, I know.
With the stairs behind her when this happens. It's
but what
not
I'm saying is
great distance.
No. But what I'm saying is the house, this is an older home. Even then, like it's loud. It's not built like homes today, right? Like where everything is quiet. So for her to say that she was at the top of the stairs, then I get it. But then where did she go? You would have like heard her.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you know what I mean?
No, that's the thing is like nobody's stories make sense because John Morse didn't come back with oxes. Bridget's doesn't make sense because like the other thing too is I can't find anything in her story from when she was out cleaning windows to when she came inside.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because then it's like
going
even
right
if you
into
were
the
cleaning. So, no, I'm sorry. Even if you were cleaning windows, again, these homes are not built like ours. You can hear everything. So if she was outside cleaning windows, I would think even on the second floor, you would hear somebody being brutally murdered, like with the hatchet. Like even if they weren't screaming or anything, I think you'd hear like some commotion. Right. But then again, how do you not hear that commotion on the second floor if you're laying on the couch on the first floor?
Well, that's the thing, is she was dead before he walked back in the house.
Well, that makes sense. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
So the police do start to, interview everybody, collect all the evidence. They immediately suspect Lizzie as the only possible attacker because while everyone else's stories stayed the same, hers changes multiple times about where she was, what she was doing. She at one point said that she thought Abby was out with a friend and she left a note stating she was gone, but never was able to produce a note. A lot of her stuff doesn't make sense. And they also noted that her demeanor was way too put together for somebody who just discovered their father brutally murdered.